The benefit of the CBC is that we, for a long time, have been, that voice and that opportunity for people to get together and really hear those stories that are Canadian stories first, but also, be quite innovative. The fact that, as you say, we started out in radio when there wasn't a lot of competition. We do things for different reasons than the private networks do. And the benefit of the CBC, again, is the fact that we have multiple platforms. So I think it might be difficult to be all things to all people, and I don't think that we're necessarily trying to achieve that. Nobody can. But I think the opportunity we do have is the fact that we can be certain things to certain people when they need it. It's not necessarily what you just see on television. I think that's a really small view. I think you have to look at what CBC services overall, and it's quite a wide variety, and we're doing the best we can with what we have, and I think Canadians are responding.
That was CBC Vice President Kirstine Stewart talking about CBC just making do. They're worried about budget cuts and worried about budget restraints, spending money on that. Joining me now, Andrea Mrozik. She is from the Institute of Marriage and Family Canada. She is their spokesperson. Andrea, where do you begin with something like this? So I'll just say, appropriate use of taxpayer dollars, yes or no?
Well, an easy answer there. No, it's not an appropriate use of taxpayer dollars. And indeed, I did have to look it up to see if this is really true when your producer called me to come and discuss this today. So having learned the hard way that it is true.
This is why we're showing it. And some people have said, why are you showing that? Stop showing it. But unless you see it, people think that this is a joke and that CBC wouldn't be doing this. You must be joking. I thought it was a joke when I first got an email about it.
Well, I can't think of what a CBC executive was thinking. There's two options in my mind. Either they don't review programming before they put it out, or they review it and somebody there is so immersed in a pornified culture that they didn't actually have a problem with this, and that's an option as well. We do live in a society where we are pushing the envelope. We have there's been books written on the pornification of our culture, the slumming of society, and so when we're immersed in smut all around us all the time for younger and younger age ranges, it becomes harder and harder to discern what's appropriate or not. I was just chatting with someone, and we talked about how back in the day, Three's Company was considered racy because there was a man living with women, and nobody really knew what was up with that. And we laugh at that today, but really it does show how far we've come in the course of my lifetime. Well,
and I want to say this, at least some MPs, and let's play some quick clips of this, some MPs were willing to say, this is a problem, and they were from all parties. Here's what they had to say.
We're spending taxpayers' dollars on this, and it's softcore porn. It's on their website, and anybody can watch it. Would you like to see it?
No.
What do you think about spending dollars on things like this?
Well, I can understand promoting the French language, but I certainly would not support anything that involves porn, for sure.
Do you have an issue with the fact that, what if it were Quebec actors, in all seriousness? What if this were Quebec actors and not from France?
Well, no, it wouldn't make any difference what actors it is. It's something that I could not support at all. Definitely not.
All right, my apologies. That was not Conservative MP Rob Anders. That was Liberal MP Lawrence McCauley. We also heard from Peter Stauffer, the New Democrats. We did hear from Rob Anders. Nobody said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And it wasn't just that it was taxpayers' dollars. They thought, why are we paying for this sort of thing? I don't think there's a mood in general society to stamp this out, mostly because even those of us that say we should not be looking at this say we're not going to stop it. But isn't there a line? Would you not think there's a line that says government doesn't pay for this sort of garbage?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that. And I think there should be some indignation at the level of smut that we consider normal in our society. This is a very fine opportunity to look at the kind of things we're watching. Consider what we watched just 30 years ago, 20 years ago. We're not talking about decades here. Well, we are talking about decades, but not a long time.
Yeah.
And to examine what that does. I think everybody considers porn to be the victimless crime, or maybe it might hurt the person viewing it, but nobody else. And that is, in fact, not true. We see a lot of family breakdown, the result of people addicted to porn. It's a problem in marriages.
Talk to lawyers or pastors, and they will tell you that as they talk to people about their breakups, about their divorces, quite often porn is at the center of it.
Indeed, and you can see that in different reports. The Witherspoon Institute at Princeton University put out a great report on the social cost of porn. So I see this as an opportunity to say absolutely not. That's not an effective use of tax dollars, and it's not appropriate in no matter who's paying for it. And let's just say no to this sort of thing when it particularly is reaching young people on the web.
All right, Andrew Morozic, thank you very much.